Hey all, it's your girl Aaron, and today I'm not going to be talking about politics or philosophy or theory or anything like that. I'm going to be talking about myself and my channel. So it's a little bit more of a meta discussion, and so I want to talk about why I make the videos I make, the format, etc., and the channel and all that. So what I've been doing lately is I've just been putting the camera, like putting my phone somewhere, just hitting record and just talking off the top of my head, and then hoping that what I say is what I wanted to say, and basically just uploading it. So not doing any editing. That's why the volume might be low, or I might be out of frame, or etc., etc. And the reason why I haven't been doing editing is because at the moment it's just a lot of work to do for many reasons. First of all, my computer, I was running Windows. I was using Sony Vegas Pro 14 that I got in a humble bundle for cheap, which was cool. And I sort of got around to being comfortable using it. I could make videos at a decent pace, etc. But I did a Windows update and killed my second hard drive, and I actually did lose some stuff there, but a lot of stuff was backed up. But I had some videos that I was busy working on, and I did lose some of that stuff. And so I realized that it was getting too expensive to run Windows, because I don't know if it's that they had the wrong base drivers for my laptop or whatever it is, but every time I did a Windows update, something went wrong. Either it killed the installation, or certain hardware stopped working, and in this case it corrupted the hard drive, the second hard drive. And so I switched to Linux, but I haven't been able to get Sony Vegas working in Wine on Linux, and I haven't found another editor that works for me there, and I'm still looking. So I've kind of been looking at KDE Live, or KDE Live, whatever it is, but it's not easy. It's not performing that great on my computer, and I need to figure out why. Because your video editor needs to be responsive, because otherwise it's just too tedious to actually get anything done. So I do want to get back to editing and making editor videos and stuff. And so I understand that these videos are very much more casual and not as appealing and not that as valuable, because as someone watching, you want probably, if you have limited time and attention and stuff, you want a video that's going to condense like a lot of information into a small amount of time, or for it to be very entertaining or funny or whatever it is. But you want to get like a lot out of it, where the stuff I'm making, there isn't that much. It's more like sort of a casual sort of conversation vibe, and I wanted my channel to actually be conversational in nature from the beginning. But then I got into doing like the Left Tube Tonight videos on a whim, and everyone liked them, and I kept doing them, and sort of went into more of a produced video thing. But what I've realized is when I don't have the time and stuff for it, that trying to make those well-produced, sort of well-packaged, almost like commodity videos, it's a lot of work. A lot more editing and planning and stuff goes into it, and it takes a lot of work for me to do that, and I do have to work a full-time job to pay all my bills and stuff. So to do all that stuff in after hours, I need to be highly motivated and have a lot of energy, and so I don't have that at times in my life where things are stressful, or I'm tired or anything like that. And so at the moment things have been pretty stressful. I'm getting divorced, and I'm trying to sell a the house I'm living in that me and my ex bought together, because we can't really afford to stay there. And it's been very stressful, especially on the financial end of things. I'm pretty much 100% of the time constantly thinking about the fact that I am not really making ends meet. But that isn't anyone else's fault, I guess, than mine for trying to buy a house, because we were gonna sort of tighten the belts, buckle down, and go through a bit of a rough period trying to make ends meet, so that after a few years, when you get raises and stuff, then it evens out. And because a house is such a long-term investment, that if you can stretch yourself at the beginning and you can make it through a few years, you'll in the long run have a better value for money than getting something cheaper, that in a few years it's even easier to pay, but it might not be everything you wanted. And maybe the plan is that once it's sold, to look for a place that's cheaper, and then I do want to try and start a commune or something there. But as it stands for now, it is a very stressful situation, and so because of all that, I haven't been able to make those videos, and so I do want to. And I know for a channel who might want to grow and stuff like that, these sort of casual things are your worst strategy because someone has to really like what I'm saying, or really like me, to actually care enough to watch, and even more so to share and all that. And so I know there isn't that many people that would be interested in that. If I took the things I was saying and I made them more to the point, I added some nice graphics and polished it up so that my points were more concise, that would be more accessible, and that more people would be interested, and it would be the kind of thing you would want to share more, and the kind of thing you would want to support more. But making videos isn't the only thing going on, and it isn't the only way I'm trying to get my thoughts out there. I have been planning to write a book, and I recently spent a few weeks nailing down the outline for the book so that I can continue with it in that way. I did make a video talking about the book, etc. I'm also helping some people with learning how to code, and with getting a book written and published and stuff. And so I'm basically trying to start a non-profit organization, or you could say a content creators union. And so that's also something that I'm working on. And then towards that end, there's a website I'm working on where I'll be able to put my blog posts, my videos, and then any future stuff I do, as well as any content other people in the union make and stuff. And the idea is for it to be a place where people can get resources and stuff for free, because it's based on mutual aid. So we, well, mostly me, but to some extent the others who are on this road, we want to have the stuff we make be accessible to as many people as possible. And so the idea is that if we can get supported, so that we don't have to take jobs and stuff, and we could spend all our time on our creative work, that we could maximize that output and maximize the amount of content that's available for free. And so we don't, or I say we, I'm speaking for myself mostly, but we don't want to make tons of money off of the stuff we make, but we do need to pay our bills. And so the hope is that we can eventually get to a point where we are supported by a community who likes what we are making, and that we can do it full time, and then we won't have to charge for what we're making because we would have our expenses covered, and so it could continue to be free forever. And the idea is that if more and more people do that, then there's a lot more content. So imagine like music that is free for you to download and free for you to use in your own works, free books, free videos, and free software. And then I do want to write other software like a decentralized peer-to-peer social network, and a Discord bot, and all of these things are going to tie in and feed into each other in cool ways. So yeah, there's a lot that I'm planning, and so in some ways, when I go to these more casual videos, I'm actually giving myself space to and time to work on some of those other things, but not editing precisely because editing is even harder than those things at the moment because of not having a good IDE, and the fact that editing for me takes a lot of work because I guess I'm not that good at it and I'm still learning. So I'm gonna keep making these kinds of videos for a while, at least until I've moved house, I think, because then my stress levels will probably go down. I can set up a permanent green screen and not worry about things being in show house condition and all that kind of thing, and I can just really take the emotional strain and of the thing needing closure and put that behind me. And so yeah, so I was basically trying to say that I have stopped really promoting my Patreon because I realized that the stuff I'm making isn't well packaged and commodified and easy and accessible enough to stand as something basically worth people's patronage. But I do believe me as a person, and I do believe that the things I'm saying are worthy of your patronage, but not the content itself. And so until I've got some of those other things, so until I have the website up, until I have my book written, until I have my software and my games written, there isn't any tangible thing for people to get out of